What's going on, my great smelling dudes? Thank you guys so much for joining me again. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Everybody else, like, comment, and then hit the bell if you want my videos sooner. So this isn't going to be like a versus battle or a top 5, top 10 list. This is going to be a video where I'm going to be talking to you guys about just some of the fragrances in the house of Parfums de Marly. As you know, it's one of my favorite niche houses. They're more closer to designer-esque, and I think that's the reason I like them, is because they're very good introductory niche house, while they do also still have some personal enjoyment, some unique eclectic scents. But about twice a year, every once in a while, it's only once, every once in a while, it's 3 times. But for the most part, twice a year, Jomas Shop does this partner sale with Parfums de Marly, where they sell the fragrances at about 45 to 50% off the actual retail price, which is absolutely crazy. And so I always wanted to tell you guys a little bit about some of the fragrances that I own from the house that I think that are worthwhile picking up. There's a lot of fragrances in the house. There's also the exclusive line. There's Pegasus exclusive and Layton exclusive. Pegasus exclusive, it smells just like a smoother, more refined version of the original Pegasus. Layton exclusive smells completely different, and I don't like it from the original, but I know some people do like it. Then there's other fragrances I won't talk about, like Parfums de Marly Wajan. It kind of has a oriental, spicy version of like 1 Million Privé, very similar to that, warm, rich, cinnamon. Then you have something like Parfums de Marly Habdan that I was just sent from Hamzat. I'm doing a review in a few days. It starts out a little bit more vintage vibe, and then it gets down to almost like a warm candy apple. It's a very good fall scent. Then you have Cologne. It is blood orange and spices. And then Carlisle, very, very well known in the fragrance community. Pegasus, very well known as well. It's more situational, but it's revolving around the note of almond. So if you're interested in any of that, definitely check it out. The only fragrances I know that aren't on there are Haltane and the new Altair, which I don't know if it'll be on there this year or next year, but it will be on there at some point. But anyway, the fragrances that are on there are all the ones I just said, except for those 2. The first one I want to talk about, it's probably the most known from the house. This is Parfums de Marly Layton. So I really like this bottle. I like the color of it. It's one of my favorite colors. I like color blue. But Parfums de Marly Layton is centered around the note of apple. And then it also is blended in with aromatics. It has some sandalwood in there. It is warm, spicy, rich, fruity. It's super sexy and seductive. This one is one of the biggest compliment pulling fragrances during the fall and winter in my entire collection. No matter what people tell you, the only thing is I know that there's like a third of the people that try it that they get this almost like Vicks vapor rub smell from it. I don't get that, but I can understand what they're saying. But with that said, Parfums de Marly Layton, for me personally, is absolutely amazing. It's just, again, super sexy, seductive, warm, rich, spicy, but at the same time has some aromatics going through there as well. But again, still centered around the note of apple with an ambery backbone. It has a little bit of a creaminess to it as well. This fragrance lasts about 8 to 10 hours, if not more. And then you also can spray it on clothes. Don't be an idiot, but Parfums de Marly Layton has a really good projection. It's about above average for the first 4 hours, and then once it starts to come down, it's a personal bubble for 2, and then it's a skin scent for the remainder of the fragrance. But if you're looking for a fall and winter fragrance, if you're looking to impress a girl, or just want something that smells absolutely fantastic, Layton is it. And it's for this size bottle, it's going for $192, or you can get the smaller size, which I believe is going for $138. That's going to be the routine here. All of these fragrances, the larger size is going to be $192. Smaller size is going to be, I think, $138, $139. The second one is going to be another fall and winter fragrance. This is going to be centered around the note of tobacco. This is my favorite Parfums de Marly fragrance. This is Parfums de Marly Herod. I've always went back and forth between this and Layton for my favorite cool weather fragrance, but this one definitely won, and it's my wife's favorite from the house as far as the warm weather fragrance or cool weather fragrances go. But this is Parfums de Marly Herod. It is a moist tobacco leaf that is surrounded by cinnamon ambery tones. And then when you get further into the base, you get a little bit of like almost like a creamy vanilla and ambery tones underneath it. It's warm, spicy, rich, just like Layton. And instead of aromatics and apple, you have tobacco and cinnamon. That is what this one is based around. It's more centered around just a few notes than what you have with Layton, which is a medley of notes. But this one, again, if you really like the note of tobacco, it is front and center. It is more of a moist tobacco, which is why I absolutely love it. It's in my top 5 fragrances in my collection for cold weather. You can't really go wrong with it. You get 7 hours on this one, and then if you spray it on clothes, it's better. It doesn't have as good of a projection as Layton. It's above average for the first hour and a half, 2 hours, but then it starts to calm down into more of a personal bubble for the remaining 3 to 4 hours, and then it's a skin scent for the rest. But that's Parfums de Marly Herod or Herod, whatever you want to call it. It's Herod, but I know people call it Herod too. But tobacco, cinnamon, spice, warm, rich, addictive. That's what you're going to get with most Parfums de Marly ones that are really well known, except for these two. Out of the entire house, these two and Carlisle are going to be the most mass appealing for the general public. The rest of the cool weather fragrances, outside of maybe Pegasus, which is more situational, but it's still very mass appealing. These are going to be the two most mass appealing. I mean, Altair could be fitting there, but again, that's not my style. I talked about that a bunch. But yeah, that's also going to be $192 and $138 or $39 for the 2.5 ounce. Now we're going to go into my favorite warm weather fragrance. So this is going to be a warm weather fragrance, but you can also wear it in the cool weather. Same with the next one. They're going to be versatile blues. And that's what, there's only 3 main freshies from the house, even though there's also Galloway, Godolphin, Darley. These are the 3 main mass appealing scents that are going to be for all year round. First one here is my favorite. It is Parfums de Marly Sedley. This is going to be centered around the notes of lemon and mint, while you also do have a lot of other things going on in there, like lavender, and there's lavender in almost every single one of these fragrances. I think there is lavender in every one of the fragrances, but it's most prevalent in this one and the one I'm about to talk about. But yeah, anyway, so this is lemon and mint. When you first spray it on, it's very heavy in lemon. Then you start getting a little bit of that cooling mint coming in. It's a spearmint, so it's a very nice minty, almost toothpaste style mint. And then as you get further into the fragrance, you get a nice soft woods that comes in, a little bit of aromatics, but for the most part, it's lemon and mint. As that lemon starts to dissipate, gets a little bit of a creamy backbone, but it's super versatile, super blue. And if anything, out of the two that the 2 warm weather fragrances, this is going to be the better one for the warm weather, even though it's good for pretty much any season. It's just that citrus in it is going to be a lot zestier and heavier than the other one that I'm about to talk about. The other one's more of a versatile blue. While this one is blue, it has more of a citrus tone to it. And then you also get vetiver, sandalwood, stuff like that, but it's neither here or there. It's lemon, mint, almost like an ambroxany style woods, but it's really nice, very effervescent. It's almost like a lemon Sprite, very good. So going into this last one, this is going to be the most mass appealing. A lot of people compare it to Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce or Mont Blanc Legend Eau de Toilette, even though this is a lot higher quality. Oh, and by the way, Sedley, it lasts about 6 hours. You can spray it on your clothes, it'll last longer, but for that type of fragrance, 6 hours is good. This one lasts about 7, but this one is Parfums de Marly Percival. This is gonna be your typical blue fragrance. Again, it's compared to designers like Mont Blanc Explorer or Mont Blanc Legend and Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce. And while it does have similar vibes of those, it is similar to them. It's a higher quality one, it lasts longer, and it doesn't smell as synthetic. With that said, this is going to be a citrus medley. It's going to be woody, it's going to be fresh, it's going to be clean, it's going to be bright, it's going to be effervescent. That's what you get this. Both this and Sedley are bright, fresh, effervescent, clean. You're going to get that from both, except for this one is going to have a bit of an ambery backtone, which is what you get in a lot of blue fragrances like Versace Dylan Blue, which is a little bit heavier on the amber, Aqua Atlantique, stuff like that. But this is more focused on the citrus medley for the first at least 2 hours. And then you have that aromatic lavender that's in there. You get some geranium in this one and in Sedley, I believe. But it's not as prevalent. It's mostly the lavender, the citruses, and then you get a nice soft woods that come in. Very beautiful scent. As you get about 2 hours into the fragrance, that's where the woods really pulls in, and it's more of a woody lavender fragrance from there on in. Bright, fresh, clean, really nice, high quality. Parfums de Marly Percival, and I believe this is a little bit cheaper. I mean, don't quote me on that, but I believe it's like $189 and $132 or something like that. I could be wrong. There, all the links for all of the fragrances are going to be in the description. These and all of the rest of them. And when I said the big 3 freshies, it is this one, and Parfums de Marly Greenly. Parfums de Marly Greenly I didn't bring out for this video, but I do own it. It is like an apple soap. It's really good for the spring. Definitely lives by that name, green. It's a green overtone of a fresh, fruity soap. That's kind of what Greenly is. It's a little bit more unique than the other two as far as mass appeal goes, but it's very interesting. I do like it. It actually might be one of my favorites during the spring. But with that said, those are the top 3 freshies. Then you have Galloway, Godolphin. I haven't tried those enough to say that they would be in my top 3. But yeah, they're all on sale right now. You have until tomorrow. So you have until Sunday morning. It might be a little bit after that, but they usually shut the Parfums de Marly sale down about Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. So definitely go check it out. Click on the links and it gets back to the channel anyway. So with that said, the video is not sponsored. I just did this on my own accord because I love Parfums de Marly. So if you're interested, help a brother out, help yourself out, go try these fragrances, and I'll be back with another video. Thanks so much. Peace out.